Hey beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, I am excited today because it's been a good day and it is so much happening. But this particular video, I'm really excited because it's something that is for anyone who is thinking of creating content, becoming a content creator, or you're a startup and you're starting a new business and you're thinking about getting yourself out there. This is all about self-promotion. Yes, I said self-promotion, and getting discovered. And you're going to get some really great tips in this video. So keep watching and let's get into it. Hi again. Welcome to all those who are new here to this channel. Very welcome. I hope you will stick around and enjoy the content here. We're all about, using what we have to be able to create the lives that we want, whether it's business, home, anything really, just basically finding it within us to create what we need and want as well. And also for those who are existing subscribers, thank you so much for being here. And let's just get into the topic, shall we? Oh, one more thing before we go into it. Please do hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I know some of you just love the content, but please do hit subscribe. It does help me grow the channel. And hit like as well if you find the content is interesting, and do share as well, and hit the notification bell so every time that I post something new, you will be the first to know that something has come up. Right, so let's get into the discussion for today. First of all, let me start from here. There's so many misconceptions and so many myths around self-promotion and sort of trying to put yourself out there. There's 4 particular ones that I read about recently. One is the one where you call yourself, you think it's being arrogant. Sort of, you look at people who are always putting their sims out there and they're like, but what's wrong with people? Why don't you just turn it down a little bit, And you always think it's such a pride thing, or they're being arrogant and being show-offs and stuff like that. That I think is it is definitely a misconception, because again, you're judging people by their covers and you don't know exactly why they're doing it that way. The second one is the princess myth. In other words, you think it's like a fairy tale and you're like, but people will find my work wherever they are. You're waiting for your Prince Charming to come and find your work and that kind of thing. And sometimes, guys, it's not always like that. It actually isn't like that, and I will explain to you why. Because you also start to think, oh, my work is just as good as it is, it will sell itself. I kid you not, that is such a very wrong mindset to have, and I hope that as we go through this video you'll get to understand one. Number 3 is the friends and family myth. In other words, you all love and kindness, your family might promote for you, but remember, it's your work. You're the one who knows the in-depth work, the details of it. You're the one who knows what you've gone through. You're the one who has actually experienced the process of it and everything, and they don't know anything. The most they'll just say is, oh yeah, my sister does this, my daughter does this. But that's about all they'll say. Some of them are really good, and they'll be like, yeah, actually, I know my daughter does this work and you should recommend her and stuff like that. And then there's also the friends who, some of them don't really wish you so well, because they'll see you hustling. You will be hustling, and they'll be like, but this one. I said, why is he hustling? And yet for you, you love what you're doing. I'm like, but surely this one is not going anywhere. And they're saying this behind your back. Then when they come to you, like, oh, great, yeah, just keep it. You just never know. So the whole friends and family myth of they will be there to help you promote your work, I think you also just need to think about that one very carefully. Lastly is what they call the matter myth. In other words, you just keep thinking, but why bother? Why bother why bother promoting myself? There are those who are already better at it, so why should I even bother getting myself in? For example, if it's like a very saturated market, it could be like fashion, and you're just like, but why bother? The work will speak for itself. What other excuses do you give? But it's stuff like that. So these 4 are the ones that I normally think is like the misconceptions around self-promotion, but it's just a matter of how you do the self-promotion. It's self-promotion itself is not evil. It's like how people say money is evil, and yet money itself is not evil. So self-promotion itself is not evil. It's just how you do it, how you approach it, and how you get people to actually get to understand or react to what you're promoting about yourself. That makes the difference. Okay? There's also one simple concept that I want you to, it's like a metaphor, but let me just put it out there for you as I help you get your mind into the new way of how to rethink self-promotion. In order to be found, this is just point blank, in order to be found, you have to be findable, isn't it? I mean, you can't find what doesn't exist, isn't it? You can't put something, as in if you don't put something out there, if you don't get out there, if you don't talk about something, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to find. There's nothing for people to discover. And there's no way to be discovered. So I don't want to call it a catch-22 situation or a chicken and egg situation, but that's how it works. You have to put something out there to be found. We always do treasure hunt, same thing. Think about it as a treasure hunt. If you want to find the treasure, there has to be a treasure to be found. So whether you have a map, whether you basically someone's calling you and giving directions to go to that place, whichever way you're going to find the treasure, the treasure has to exist first for it to be found. And that's why so many people will go after it. So it's the same thing with you. Now that we've got that clear, I want us to take us now to figuring out now, how do we fix it? So what should be the new thinking? What should be the new way of how we should deal with self-promotion? Because you're like, Comfort, yeah, so you've told me the mistake I'm making. So, and now what? How do I deal with it? How do I get myself findable? How do I get my stuff findable? And bearing in mind, and I'm coming from a place of understanding that it is hard. It's not something just that any person can wake up and feel like, oh, okay, now let me get out there and do it. You are not, I don't want you to become these pushy sales people who are always like, here's my work in your face. No. That's not what I want. That's not the situation that I want. I want you to just keep it simple. When we say make yourself findable, there's so many ways to do it, and it has to work with you, your character and what you believe in, your values, your principles and what you believe in. And you don't have to do it in a way that makes you super uncomfortable. Yes, push yourself slightly out of your comfort zone because you have to do it. That's what it will take. Life does get to that point where you have to, push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. So, and to keep it simple, first of all, choose a platform that you're used to. If it's going to be Instagram, let it be. If you want to write it in a blog post, then fine. If you just want to post it on your WhatsApp status, let it be. But find an avenue of a vehicle or a platform that you're going to be comfortable with and start from there. So don't try and say, okay, because it's TikTok, everyone is doing TikTok, let me go and do TikTok. No. Find something that you're comfortable with. And then slowly, as you're used to what you're doing and the content that you're putting out there is already, like you're happy with what you're doing, then you can start to investigate other platforms. So once you've actually found your platform, and then they start to choose the content that you want to share, I normally recommend share the process and not the product. If you have the product, great, that's good. But when you're just starting out on a journey towards self-promotion and you've not been doing this, it can be intimidating. And of course, it's easier for you to just put the product out there. But then you put the product, sometimes when you put the product out there, people don't relate to it because everyone might be having the same product. So you need to start to share the process as you're making it towards the product, because that's what people are going to now relate to. And it's almost like having a public journal in a way. So you're sort of documenting every single piece of what you're doing, and it just makes all the difference in the world. Because even as you're making them in your little studio or in your private space, you are writing each and everything down. It's just a matter of, okay, just picking a few things out of there that you feel you're willing to share to the public as part of the process. So it doesn't have to be the whole thing, just a few things here and there as part of the process. Now, of course, someone's going to ask, oh, but Comfort, doing that, I'm worried about my competition because I'll be giving away my secrets or my systems and stuff like that. But guys, I think one thing that I've been learning so critically is that competition is not sharing doesn't mean instant competition. And even if your competitor wants to come and look at your process and they're learning, they will never do it the way you do. They will never replicate it or provide it or present it the way you do. You are unique in your way. The way you handle what you're doing is different from the way someone else would do it. So have that faith in yourself. And then also teach what you know. Don't try to share things that are sort of out of your comfort zone, you know, because you don't want to risk yourself pretending to be an expert in something and yet you're not. You know, sometimes it's a bit, if you're not authentic enough, it will come through and people will actually get to catch you out on it. So it would be really, really good and much better. I really highly recommend that you teach what you know. Finally, I would say, while you're doing all that, now this is like closing remarks, be ready for criticism. So in other words, prepare yourself for criticism because it's going to come. The minute you start putting yourself out there, that's how all these myths actually came in. All these things of, oh, people are going to say what, or the arrogance of putting yourself out there and stuff like that. Get ready for it because there are always going to be people out there who are going to criticize your work. So you need to mentally prepare yourself for that as well. But when it happens, use it as a stepping stone because some of that information, some of it is actually helpful because it shows you like you can learn something from it. I'm always about believing you never fail at something. You learn from something. And those that are really, really negative, just completely just block them. As in, there's some that you know are just there to drain your energy and drain the life out of you. So those ones, just completely block them. And in conclusion, don't deny the world of your gift. You never know who you might be blessing. You never know who is watching you. Just put it out there. Every single person has someone who is inspired by someone. That I've learned and I believe so strongly about. And so just don't deny yourself your passion. Don't deny your passion to someone else. Don't deny your gift to the world because God gave it to you for a particular reason. And I hope that you will find it in you to start sharing just little increments, just a little bit of it at a time. And trust me, the more you do that, the more you start to just put yourself out there in baby steps. You get the confidence, you get consistent, you get used to it, and you'll be amazed by what the doors that will open for you. You'll be amazed by the opportunities that come for you. People go viral on just one video. You never know, that one content, that one piece that you put out there is the one that's going to make it happen. So just have the courage, go for it, and enjoy it as well. Just put it out there and don't overthink it. Just keep it simple and just put it out there. Right? Okay, so that's all we had for this video. I hope it has helped you. In case you have any comments or any thoughts, please let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so next time we actually have another video you can come through. And do like if it was good, give me a thumbs up, and do share as well if you can. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.